So what is the solution? First, we will apply what is known as the 1-minute rule. That rule tells us that if a task takes just 1 minute, then we must complete it there and then. Too often, we put off tasks because we find them stressful. If it means emailing a client who is traditionally a little grumpy, for instance, then we might put off doing so because we don't want to have to deal with them. But these tasks aren't going to go away. And if it takes just 1 minute, then it's going to realistically interrupt your day or prevent you from doing the real work. So just do it. This is a fantastic habit to get into. An exception, caveat to this rule is that you shouldn't let 1-minute tasks pull you out of your deep work. Switching between tasks takes a lot of mental energy, meaning that productivity is always lost. The solution? Simply shut off notifications and other distractions to make sure that you will not even know about the task until you unplug. 5 tips for avoiding procrastination. Procrastination is the bane of working from home. If you're someone who works at home regularly, then you absolutely need to learn to avoid the temptation to spend the first hour and a half doing nothing at all. Otherwise, you're suddenly working 5-hour days instead of 8-hour days, and that's something your employers and clients are going to notice. In this presentation, we're going to look at 5 tips for crushing procrastination. Accountability. The problem is that there is no accountability for procrastination. This is why it is worse for those that work from home versus those that work in an office. In an office, people are looking over your shoulder, but here you can do whatever you like. One solution is to create stakes for yourself. An easy way to do that? Email your client and tell them that you're going to finish X amount of work and send it to them daily. Suddenly, the option to sit on your thumbs for the first few days on a project is gone. Work in a coffee shop. This won't always be possible depending on your circumstances, but when it is, working in a coffee shop or library is a great way to add some social pressure to your day. You can't sit playing Sonic the Hedgehog now because people will think you're odd. Speaking of which, coffee works great too. Set rewards. Try setting yourself small rewards for accomplishing set amounts of work each day. For example, if you finish the first 2,000 words of an essay you're writing, only then can you give yourself a cup of coffee. Make the project fun. Often, we put things off simply because we don't want to do them. This is why procrastination tends to rear its ugly head more when we're doing particularly dull and dry tasks. The solution is to find a way to make that task more interesting. For example, you might find a way to gamify it, or you may just find a way to add more creativity to the project. Rest properly. Finally, make sure you have some proper downtime and fun during your time off. Often we procrastinate because there are other things we want to do. If you never have time to play video games, read books, or browse Facebook, then that will start creeping into your work. So actually enjoy your time off, and you should find this changes. How to create a highly productive work environment in your home office. If you're working from home, you need to think carefully about the environment you're going to be working in. You're now not only responsible for the work you do, but also for your surroundings. This is important, seeing as the space you work in can drastically impact on your ability to stay focused. Now you have the opportunity to create a space that is perfectly conducive to your work style and that will help you to feel inspired, motivated, and comfortable. But too many people will find that the exact opposite thing happens instead. They end up working in squalor and feeling demotivated, cluttered, and distracted as a result. Listen up, and we're going to go over how to get this right and create a home office that you can't wait to sit down to work in. Eudaimonia machine. The Eudaimonia machine is a hypothetical architectural project described in Cal Newport's book, Deep Work. Here, Newport explains what the perfect space would be like in order to encourage focus and productivity. One of the key features of this space was a gallery of sorts, including inspiring works and figures. Let's say that you're a writer then. This space might include a typewriter owned by a famous writer, a lot of impressive-looking books, or a quote from Shakespeare on a plaque. The idea of this is to help put you in the right headspace, to help you feel inspired and excited to get to work. Comfort. Another important thing for a home office is comfort. When you are uncomfortable, whether that's because the seat is awkward or the desk is the wrong height, this steals attention away from whatever you're doing. Invest in a comfortable chair, an ergonomic keyboard, and anything else that will improve your comfort. Physiology. Physiological factors play a big part in our mental state. Things like the level of lighting, the amount of background noise, or even the temperature can all impact on mood and well-being. Make sure you have precise control over these things. Even smells can affect the release of neurotransmitters that impact on mood. Tools. Of course, the right tools will play a big role in helping you to be more productive, as will creating a work zone that will make everything you need easily accessible from your one spot. How to create a strict routine when working from home. There are many things that you may find you struggle to come to terms with when you start working from home. This is a big shift in the way that you work and approach work, and the result is that many people struggle to adapt. One big example is that the onus is now very much on you to decide how you wish to work. That means that you need to think about how you want your workflow to work, what hours you're going to work, and which tasks you're going to prioritize. In this presentation, we're going to look at how to create a routine that will help you maximize your productivity and get more done. Be strict about downtime. The first tip that many people don't recognize is that it is just as important to be strict about downtime as it is to be strict about your actual work. That's critical because it is during your downtime that you're going to recharge for the day ahead. If you allow your work to creep into the rest of your day, then you're going to find that you end up failing to recharge your batteries properly. Thus, when you do start working, you will find that you have less energy and your mind is other places. Enjoy flexibility. With that said, it is entirely up to you how and when you work, depending on the nature of your work. In other words, if you're someone who works best in the mornings, then there's no longer anything stopping you from working from 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. Alternatively, you can work an extra 1.5 hours every day and then take Fridays off. See what works best for you. Create accountability. Something else to consider is whether you have the ability to force yourself to be productive or whether you need an external form of accountability to make sure that you stay on course. Rather than create false stakes, setting punishments for yourself, etc., you can achieve this simply by changing the way you work with your boss or clients. For example, tell them that you will send in your work every single day. Suddenly, you have no option to procrastinate or to work slowly because they expect to see something at the end of every single working day. This can add a lot of discipline to your work process. How to deal with loneliness and social isolation when you work from home. If you have made the decision to work from home, then there is a good chance that you're someone who considers themselves to be an introvert. As such, you are probably more than happy to shut yourself away and to work on things you find rewarding. But even for an introvert, this can sometimes become a little lonely and isolating. And meanwhile, if you're an extrovert who has been forced to work from home through no choice of their own, it can be excruciating. In this presentation, we'll look how to deal with the loneliness and social isolation that comes with working from home. Find other ways to socialize. The first and most important way to ensure you don't go mad working from home is to try to find other ways to get your stimulation and engagement. For instance, if you're stuck at home with your family, you can take lunch with them in order to make the isolation a little more bearable. In fact, this is a huge upgrade. Instead of being forced to work alongside people you don't really know all that well, you are now spending time with people you actually love. You can also get on a video call with a friend or coworker using Zoom or Skype. For group video calls, a great app you could use is called House Party, which is available for iOS and Android devices. Work together on projects. If you're self-employed, then finding ways to work with others, especially friends, can make a big difference. Collaborating on a project with someone you get on well with is extremely rewarding, and it's a fantastic way to strengthen your friendship. Go out. Again, this isn't always possible, but where you can, why not go outside and work? Working from home doesn't have to mean working from home in the literal sense. All it really means is working not at the office. So why not take your laptop to a cafe and get some work done there? Or alternatively, why not work on a park bench and enjoy the sun on your face? How to deal with small tasks and prevent overwhelm. Often, it is not the biggest tasks that create the most stress for us. Big tasks loom over us, but they are simple and easy to understand. Instead, then, it is the smaller tasks that typically leave us stressed and overwhelmed. More specifically, it is when lots of small tasks build up that we can often find ourselves feeling snowed under and unsure of where to start. General advice is to tackle the biggest and most ugly project first in a working day. This is referred to as eating the frog. This is good advice as it means you can focus on providing value and getting work done, rather than getting bogged down with administrative tasks. But if it means that you never quite cross those tasks off, you end up with a building pressure. There are emails to send, bills to pay, letters to open, broken web pages to fix, and all of this plays constantly on your mind, even during your time off. This is what Tim Ferriss refers to as an open loop. That is any task that remains incomplete and meanwhile causes you stress and anxiety. So what is the solution? First, we will apply what is known as the 1-minute rule. That rule tells us that if a task takes just 1 minute, then we must complete it there and then. Too often, we put off tasks because we find them stressful. If it means emailing a client who is traditionally a little grumpy, for instance, then we might put off doing so because we don't want to have to deal with them. But these tasks aren't going to go away. And if it takes just 1 minute, then it's going to realistically interrupt your day or prevent you from doing the real work. So just do it. This is a fantastic habit to get into. An exception, caveat to this rule is that you shouldn't let 1-minute tasks pull you out of your deep work. Switching between tasks takes a lot of mental energy, meaning that productivity is always lost. The solution? Simply shut off notifications and other distractions to make sure that you will not even know about the task until you unplug. Finally, any tasks that take longer than 1 minute should be added to a to-do list. You can then set aside a designated time to work through these every day. How to enter and stay in a flow state when working from home. Have you ever been working on a project when suddenly you find yourself falling into a perfect rhythm? After facing serious procrastination and resistance, all of that seems to fall away, and you find yourself in a perfect state of focus. That's when the real work gets done. Without distractions, you are able to stay on task and plow through what you need to get done. But there's more to it than that too. According to psychologists, flow states allow us to perform our very best work on a consistent basis. We can tap into reserves of productivity and even creativity that are normally inaccessible. So, how do you get into this state? Let's take a look at some strategies and tips that we know to work. Rest. The first tip is to ensure that you start the day in the best way possible. That is to say that you shouldn't be overtired or stressed. Make sure that during your downtime, you rest properly so that you can return to work feeling recharged and effective. Sensory deprivation. Our brain has two attentional networks. There is one that is responsible for our internally directed attention, what we choose to focus on, and one that is dictated by external cues that grab and hold our attention. In order to stay on task, then, you need to block out these things that would normally try to pull you away from work. That means a level of sensory deprivation, which you can often accomplish by listening to music or white noise on headphones. Using a large monitor can also help, as this will take up more of your field of view. Inspiration. What many people don't realize is that their productivity is determined more so by their emotion than by logic. In other words, you will find it easiest to be productive when you actually feel interested in and excited by the work that you're required to do. A great tip is to look at examples of the kind of work you intend to do in order to see how it looks best. Just start. Finally, a last tip is to simply start doing whatever it is you need to do. Don't worry if you don't feel inspiration right away, or if you find yourself resisting your need to work. Just plow through and keep going, and eventually you'll fall into a groove. The perfect morning routine for a productive working day. What you do first thing in the morning will set the mood for the entire day to follow. If you have a strong, productive start to your day, then you're going to find it much easier to dive straight into work and get lots done. But if you allow procrastination to creep in at this early point, or if you engage in unhealthy habits, then you're going to find it's much harder to get work done. And this becomes doubly important if you're working from home. With no commute, you have every opportunity to take things slow and to forget about things like grooming. This makes a huge difference to your headspace going forward and seriously limits how productive you're likely to be as the day progresses. This is why the most productive and successful people in the world all have morning routines. In this presentation, we'll discuss some tips to help you create yours. Be realistic. The first and most important step is to make sure that any morning routine you devise is realistic. What that means is that you shouldn't try to come up with something that is extremely elaborate or lengthy, and certainly not to start with. If you've never been able to get up before 7 a.m., then what is the point in including that as part of your morning routine? If you have never stuck at meditation, then why claim you're going to do 30 minutes every morning? It is far better to have a simpler morning routine relying on a few rules, but that you will actually stick to. Use apps. There are plenty of apps out there, such as habit tracking apps, that are designed to help you stick to your goals and plans. Try using a few to see if they can help. Some key things to try. With all that said, here are some popular options to include in your morning routine. Exercise. This helps wake you up and encourages good habits. Meditation. Even 5 minutes will let you take control of your day. Minimal screen time. Many people believe they shouldn't look at any electronic devices for at least the first hour after waking up. Time outdoors. Spending some time outside will help set your body clock. To-dos. Writing a to-do list first thing is a great way to stay on top of things you need to accomplish. Try incorporating any of these that resonate with you and see how it changes your productivity during the day that follows. The top tools and apps for getting more work done from home. Working from home is a mixed blessing. On the one hand, you'll now have the freedom to work from the comfort of your own four walls. You can drink as much coffee as you like, and you don't have a commute. But on the flip side, you're surrounded by distractions. You can't easily speak to your colleagues, and you need to manage your time entirely by yourself. That's where the top apps and gadgets can come in handy for helping you to do more. Let's talk about some of the best. Asana. For managing big projects with a team of collaborators, tools like Basecamp and Asana are invaluable. Asana will let you create new tasks, assign people, and share updates with collaborators. You can add attachments too, and there are apps available for all major platforms. Slack. Slack is essentially WhatsApp for teams. Sending an email to ask small questions is time-consuming and certainly not optimal. So Slack exists to let you speak to colleagues as you might do by tapping them on the shoulder in a real office setting. Watch out though, Slack can be a time sink. Todoist. If you tend to work solo, then Todoist is a similarly indispensable tool. This is a to-do app that will let you create tasks for yourself and set reminders. It's available on all major platforms, and there's even an Apple Watch app. The best feature of Todoist is the natural language interpretation. This lets you say things like, take the trash out every Monday, which will then automatically renew on Monday with a due date for that day. Notion. Notion is a note-taking app that is significantly more powerful than most of the competition. That's because each note can become a database, a flowchart, or a page. You can embed images, videos, and even websites. And you can even export your notes as HTML websites. The whole tool is far more like a content management system in terms of what it can do, and many people refer to it as their second brain. Freedom. For those who struggle not to get distracted by the web without a boss breathing over their shoulder, Freedom is an app that lets you block specific apps and web pages. That means you can't access Facebook during work hours, which can instantly quadruple your work output. These 5 hacks will make working from home much more enjoyable. Working from home can be a mixed blessing. For some, this is an ideal way to spend more time in their own environment, to get away from irritating colleagues, and to get rid of the commute. For others, this can feel a little like being under house arrest. Here are some tips that will help to ensure you fall into that former camp. Adopt flexi time. Depending on your precise work arrangements, working from home probably means you now have the luxury of deciding how and when you wish to work. That means you can get up early and finish at 2 p.m., or you can have the morning off and work into the evening. Mess around with what works best for you. Listen to music. Music can make a huge difference to how long and dull a day feels, and it can also help to keep you focused by blocking out distracting sounds. Invest in some good noise-canceling headphones. Watch movies and TV. This might sound counterproductive, but in fact, you can actually watch movies and TV while working at the same time. This is a strategy that Tim Ferriss has been known to use, and that is useful for distracting that more creative part of your brain that doesn't enjoy dull work. The key is to watch something you already know very well and to take the sound off. This makes it a background distraction that you can gaze at occasionally while touch typing. It's just enough stimulation to prevent you from getting pulled away from your work. Surround yourself with inspiration. Inspiration is one of the key and most important tools for getting more work done. If you can bring yourself to feel inspired by the work you're doing, then it won't be a struggle to get yourself to start it and see it through. What can help in this regard, then, is to surround yourself with things you personally find inspiring. That might mean examples of great works in your field, or just images of the people who inspire you. Spend time with others. With your office time gone, you might find yourself going a bit mad from the social isolation. A good solution is to spend lunchtimes with others or to meet after you finish work. You've traded time with irritating colleagues for time with the people you love. It's an upgrade.
3 reasons why you should systemize your online business. In this presentation, I'm going to show you 3 reasons why you should systemize your online business. Many new entrepreneurs believe that by working harder and putting in more hours, they will be able to create a successful business. While this is partially true, the real key is to work on your business by creating replicable processes and building them into systems. Adding real systems to your online store isn't something that you can afford to put off any longer. Here are 3 compelling reasons why you should systemize your online business today. Gain peace of mind. When you systemize your business, you gain the ability to better focus on the activities that will allow you to grow your business. Creating and documenting the processes that run your company will provide you with the opportunity to focus on the essential aspects and provide you with the peace of mind that everything will still run like clockwork even when you aren't there. Gain more freedom. By having a structured, recorded system in place, you will be able to provide all your new trainees with a manual for running the business and completing their tasks. You will no longer feel the need to hover over them or have to answer endless questions about how they should approach a job. This allows you to focus your time and energy on the activities that will enable you to grow your business, letting the system train your new employees. Increase salability. Creating a turnkey operation with a clean, clearly documented system in place makes your business extremely attractive to potential buyers. When and if you decide it's time to sell your business, you can hand the buyer an operation that runs smoothly and efficiently. Providing a potential buyer with a neatly typed binder with the systems clearly documented is a lot easier to sell than the memory of your savvy administrator. One of the most famous corporations that use employee systems within their business are McDonald's. Their highly efficient systems have allowed them to speed up the time customers wait for their orders without adding to their staff. Taking the time to create more sound systems for everything in your business will pay off in the long run. Systemizing will allow you to become more productive and provide you with the time to focus on what really matters, growing your business. 4 areas of your online business that you can systemize today. Systemization of your business is about consistency, ease of use, and saving you time. While there are tons of places in your business that you can build processes around, these 4 areas can make a substantial impact and are the perfect place to start systemizing today. Client processes. The processes that you have for interacting with your clients is by far the best one to start systemizing today. Your client interactions need to be as organized as possible if you want to be a successful business owner. By creating robust systems to help your customer service and engagement processes run as smoothly as possible, you can begin to build trust with your clients. Bookkeeping. Bookkeeping is the money management side of your business. It starts when you receive money from your clients for your products or services. Accounting can be extremely complicated and vary state to state and country by country. When it comes to your income, you have to have a way to track it as well as your expenses. This can be done through a simple Excel spreadsheet, or you can use one of the many software programs available today. Content marketing. If you have a blog and an email list, you can quickly create processes for handling your content marketing tasks. This will require you to create an editorial calendar based on what you want to share and how often you want to develop resources for each area. Create a checklist that shows you the steps you need to take from topic idea to finished product. Social media marketing. You can effectively systemize your social media marketing efforts. Much like your content marketing, you have to determine what you want to create and establish an editorial calendar. Instead of wasting time every day with ensuring your content is posted to the appropriate social media channels, you can utilize scheduling software to systemize the process. Along with having a method in place for creating the post, you also need one that will help you maintain engagement. Every business is unique, and you have to find what works best for you. The biggest mistake you can make when it comes to systems is thinking that you don't need any. Implementing systems in your business are what will allow you to grow your business. 4 reasons why your business should embrace systemization. In this tutorial, you're going to learn why your business should embrace systemization. At first, business systemization might not sound too exciting. The word probably conjures up images in your head of assembly lines and robots. If the idea of systemization makes you think of Henry Ford, you're in for a pleasant surprise. At its most basic form, systemization is about creating a process for handling a task that you do over and over again and finding a streamlined way to accomplish it. Here are 4 reasons why you should embrace systemization in your business. Reason number 1, make your clients happy. Having a streamlined client experience will result in happier clients, more recommendations, and repeat business. To make sure that the client experience is the best it can be, run a quick audit on the steps your clients experience from their first contact to the end of the project. This will help you identify the systems you need to develop to deliver results on a consistent basis. Reason number 2, create a more efficient team. Providing your team with well-documented procedures will increase their productivity. When your team can follow a reliable, streamlined process, they spend less time and energy on their tasks. Systemizing your business processes will also decrease the chances of mistakes. Reason number 3, create built-in quality improvement triggers. Documenting your business processes helps to spur people into action to find ways to improve it. Seeing the steps written down on paper forces our brains to challenge the inefficiencies and gaps that we discover. The improvements will continue once you document the procedure. This improvement process comes built in with systemization because once the steps are established as a process, people will automatically want to optimize it. Reason number 4, increase creativity. Creating a checklist to systemize your business processes allows you to remove the drudgery of repetitive tasks that tend to waste time. The functions that can shortchange the more creative efforts that are needed for your business to thrive. Rather than spending creative energy on the mundane tasks, systemization allows you to save your brain power for figuring out new ways to connect with the world. Systemizing your online business allows your team to become more flexible and gives them the opportunity to unleash their creative power. When you can free up their brain power through systemization, they can focus on applying the talents you hired them for in the first place. 5 practical ways you can start systemizing your business now. In this presentation, I'm going to show you 5 easy ways you can start systemizing your business today. When you optimize your business operations, you can grow your company and increase your revenues more smoothly. Having systems in place can help you quickly and seamlessly scale because they provide you with a proven structure that works. You can turn your business into a more productive, efficient, and consistent machine by following these easy ways of systemizing your business. Determine the functional areas of your business. Systemizing everything in your business at once can be a daunting prospect. The best way to tackle this is by breaking the process down into more manageable chunks. To start, create a list of all the high-level areas in your company that could benefit from systems. These could include sales, product pricing, etc., marketing, social media, lead generation, SEO, operations, front and back office, teams, management, HR functions, money, income and expenses. Identify the areas that have the most issues. Using the list you just created, determine which areas are using up the most resources regarding time, energy, and money. Those are the areas that you should focus on first. Look at areas where you always get pulled into matters that aren't the best use of your time and concentrate on fixing those areas that are causing inefficiencies and that are wasting your valuable resources. Access the current systems. After you've determined the areas in your business to systemize first, begin to create a master list of subsystems for that category and assess each one individually. Determine if the system is good, broken, or missing. A good system would be something like a standard database listing all your product vendors, an end-of-the-day closing checklist, or your paid time off procedures for your employees. A broken system is where only one person knows that a particular system exists, or where multiple people are following their own policies. A missing system is a gap that leads employees to create their own process because none currently exist. Only document procedures when necessary. You don't need to document every process in your operations manual. You are creating these systems so you can simplify, not overly complicate your business. Use common sense to balance the documentation with implementation. Keep things simple and only document the most critical and complicated processes in your business. Repeat the process. Continue to repeat the process until you have systemized the most critical and complicated procedures in your business. Some systems that could make a significant impact on your company's structure are product launches, product delivery, email marketing, project management. Putting systems in place will put your business and personal life more at ease. While it takes some implementing effort on the front end, it will be well worth your efforts in the end. 5 signs you need to implement systems in your online business. In this presentation, I'm going to show you the 5 signs that you need to systemize your business. The road to becoming a successful entrepreneur isn't an easy one. The amount of work it takes to keep the business running can quickly overshadow your passion. Here are 5 signs that you need to systemize your business. Sign 1. You feel stressed and overwhelmed. If your to-do list seems never-ending and you have no time to enjoy personal life, it may be time to look at how you're doing things in your business. Putting systems in place can help save you a ton of time and energy so you can focus on the things that will help grow your business. Sign number 2. Your business isn't progressing. If it seems like your business has come to a standstill, it's time to start systemizing the tasks that can occur on a regular basis. There are only so many hours in the day, and if you feel like no matter what you do, you can't seem to find the time to expand, then you need to systemize. Sign number 3. You've become inconsistent. When you start forgetting about essential meetings or forget to send out invoices to your clients or can't find the time to follow up with prospective clients, then it's time to start implementing systems in your online business. The more inconsistent you are with your actions, the higher the chances are that you are letting potential clients slip through the cracks. Sign number 4. You don't have a consistent flow of clients. This is a direct result of not having a system in place to ensure you have a consistent flow of new clients to work with. If you are continually finishing a project only to find that you don't have another client waiting in the wings, then you need to start systemizing your business. Sign number 5. Not treating your clients as you would like to. When you become overwhelmed and exhausted, you are unable to provide your customers with excellent service. It comes through in your energy level and how you respond to clients. If you can relate to any of these warning signs, then it's time to start implementing systems in your business to decrease your workload and increase your productivity. With strong policies in place, you can spend less time working while increasing profits. 5 steps for systemizing your business. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you the 5 steps needed to systemize your business. When it comes to systemizing your business, the first place to start is on the front lines. These are the people who are answering the phones and dealing with the paperwork. They are the ones who know what does and doesn't work in the business's daily operations. Determine who the right people in the company are to help you develop your systems, and sit down with them to outline each process from start to finish. Step 1. Determine the what and why. After you've determined which options need to be systemized, you need to determine why these activities are being performed daily. When you and your employees understand the point behind the tasks, it can help to clarify the value of each job. You also need to discuss what kinds of things they need to perform each function. This includes physical items as well as esoteric stuff like signatures from management or buy-ins from other departments. Step 2. Appoint an owner. When you've determined the what and why of your business operations, you need to appoint an owner to each task. This will be someone who is ultimately responsible for seeing the process through, no matter how many people are involved. You need to grant these people the authority to push the process through, no matter what his day-to-day role is in the company. Step 3. Get everyone to agree. This is a step in the process where you need to get everyone to agree on the new system. End your systemization meetings with a discussion on the new system and determine if there was anyone who has a problem with the new process. Give your employees a chance to talk about their concerns and provide suggestions to improve the process. Step 4. Document, document, document. Once you've agreed to the new recommended process, it's time to make sure that it is clearly documented. It is imperative that you be consistent throughout each process by trying to use the same terminology and structure throughout. When your systems are laid out in the same way, it will be much simpler to adopt all the policies across the board. Step 5. Communicate. The final step for systemizing your business is to communicate the new processes to your staff. After the original documents have been delivered, check in with the stakeholders to see if the new systems are working. Whether you're running an established business or you're just starting, putting systems in place to handle the day-to-day tasks will make your business run smoothly and increase productivity among your staff. Common systemization mistakes you need to avoid. In this tutorial, I'm going to tell you about the common systemization mistakes that you need to avoid as a business owner. As an entrepreneur, your business will begin to expand to the point that you will no longer be able to be directly involved in the day-to-day activities. To move into the next phase of growth, you will need to create systems that will allow you to focus your energy on growing and improving your business. However, there are many mistakes that you can make when first introducing business systemization. Not doing research yourself. As a small business owner, you might have an idea of what it means to systemize your business, but you may not have worked in an environment that includes multiple automated business processes. It is essential that you don't just hand over the process to a management consultant. You need to understand how the process works. You need to understand what your business needs to be successful and generate more profits. Not planning. When embracing business systemization, take a few days to formulate a plan. This plan will need to include identifying routine activities and tasks, the standards that you expect at the completion of each operation, the philosophy behind the actions, the people responsible for carrying out the activities, a template for each step of the activities, how you will review and improve the process. Doing too much at once. Trying to design too many systems at once will leave you overstretched as a business owner. The first thing that you want to work on is creating policies for the processes that happen most frequently. Don't waste your time right now focusing on procedures for activities that only occur a few times a year. Focus your time and energy on daily activities that cause problems and frustration. Start with small activities so you can become confident in documenting and testing systems before moving on to more complex processes. Not communicating with your team. It is essential that you fully inform your team about the changes that are taking place with the business processes. Your team will be more supportive and more involved if they understand the benefits to the business and them personally for systemizing. These common pitfalls will quickly derail the progress you make in systemizing your business. Putting stable systems in place will make your business run smoother and increase productivity among your staff so you can focus on continuing to grow your business. How systemization can help you grow your online business. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how systemization can help you grow your online business. When you run your own online business, there is never a shortage of things to do. For every task you complete, there are 4 more to add to your plate. You often find that you don't have the time or energy to focus on the bigger picture. This is where systemization can help. Visualize your future. When you begin to think about your long game, it is essential to take the moment to visualize where you see your business heading. This can be in the next 6 months, year, or 5 years. You won't be able to begin systemizing your business and moving it forward until you can establish the direction that you're headed. Identify your processes. Your first step is to identify the tasks within your business that are reoccurring. Those tasks that take up precious time from your daily and weekly routine. These tasks are perfect for systemization. Taking the time to think about your daily operations will allow you to recognize the jobs that are repetitive. Here are some of the tasks that are common and perfect for systemizing. Preparing and sending invoices, bookkeeping, customer support, preparing and sending an email newsletter, preparing project proposals. The list will vary from business to business based on the way things are done. Start documenting. Once you've identified some of the business tasks that can be systemized, you will need to start documenting them step by step. These procedures will become the backbone of your company and will serve as an operating manual for new hires. When recording the systems, you need to be as detailed as possible and include every step, sub-step, and explanation. Make your procedures visual. No one wants to read pages upon pages of text documentation. That's why it's incredibly important to break up long blocks of text with visuals, like screenshots and videos. These can add clarity to each step of the process. Delegate tasks. Once you've created the documentation, execute the procedure yourself by following along with the documentation you've created. This will allow you to confirm that you haven't skipped any crucial details or steps. Once you're sure the document is correct, you can start delegating these systemized tasks to your staff. With the library of process documentation that you've created, you've built a successful machine that can run itself, allowing you to focus on the activities that are necessary to continue to grow your business. How to save yourself time by systemizing your online business. In this presentation, I'm going to show you how you can save yourself time by systemizing your online business. You may have thought that when you started your online business, that you would have more freedom and time to do things you wanted to do instead of working. Unfortunately, this is not usually the case. The truth is that running a business requires much work. It doesn't have to be this way. By systemizing your business, you can start finding more time in your days and concentrate on enjoying your life. The systems you implement should help you do the following. Automate. A majority of online business owners have specific tasks that they are doing manually that can be automated. There are a ton of business functions that you can automate to help save you time, as well as improve your business. For example, if you spend all your time pinning all your Pinterest pins in real time, spending hours every week to gain traction, you need to consider automating this task. Several tools on the market can help you do this. For almost every job that you do throughout the day, there is probably a way to automate it. Outsource. If you find some of your tasks can't be automated, then you need to consider whether or not they can be outsourced. To determine what functions you can outsource, take a look at these activities that you are doing on a daily basis. If you are focusing all your energy on unimportant tasks like responding to emails or sending out invoices, you are effectively stunting the growth of your business. If you have the money to invest in outsourcing some of your tasks, it could provide you with huge rewards in the growth of your business. Batch. Creating systems is nothing more than saving time and scaling your business. Because if your business can run smoothly without you, you have the potential to see significant gains in the growth of your company. Batching means completing similar tasks at the same time every day. For example, on Mondays, you may write all your blog posts for the week, while on Tuesdays you prepare and schedule your social media promotions. Batching similar tasks together into a systemized schedule will allow you to get more done in less time. There are a ton of tasks that you can outsource and automate, allowing you to scale your business and save time. Get more done in less time by creating and implementing systems in your business. How to systemize your business using Google Docs. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to systemize your business using Google Docs. You've worked hard to create a profitable online business. You have a great team of employees who know what's expected of them and perform at a high level of standard. When you're available, your business runs like a well-oiled machine. But when you're away, it's a different story. You can't blame your employees. Your problem is you don't have systems in place that outline what to do and when and how to do it. Putting systems in place to help your business run when you aren't available is as easy as starting a new Google Doc. Here's a step-by-step guide for using Google Docs to systemize your business. Step 1. Your most reoccurring tasks. Before you begin creating systems for your online business, you need to identify all your daily and weekly tasks and obligations. To do this, open a new Google Doc and list every activity you're responsible for. Then, next to each activity, write down how long it takes for you to complete each task. Next, organize the list by how long it takes to complete. Finally, go through each point and determine if it is something that you can delegate. Step 2. Decide on a directory structure. Before you start documenting your processes, you ideally want to create a well-organized hierarchy of folders in the Google Drive. This allows your employees to quickly know where to look if they need to know how to perform a task. A good rule of thumb to follow is to organize folders by departments. Getting this correct will allow you to build a solid foundation and never have to worry about disorganization. Step 3. Document your processes. Now you're ready to begin documenting your processes. Unfortunately, this is the most time-consuming part of the process, but well worth it when you have to onboard new employees in the future. To accomplish this, you will need to create a new Google Doc for each of the processes. Be sure to give as much detail as possible, listing each step that is required to complete the task. To make the process easy to follow, make sure to include screenshots and annotations to highlight critical areas of importance. Step 4. Ask an employee to perform the task. Now you will take the time to test the effectiveness of your documentation. If you're going to delegate the task, ask the person who will be performing the job to complete the work using the documentation you've created. If questions arise, it means that the system wasn't thorough enough and needs further explanation. If this happens, you will need to go back to make the necessary improvements of the documentation. Once the changes have been made, go back to the person and ask them to perform the task again. Step 5. Continue to improve. Your documented processes will never be right the first time, which is okay. Once you have an excellent working draft in place, all you have to do is continue to make improvements along the way. Your employees will begin to find ways to improve the process, making each draft better than the one before. Systemization is an essential part of a business. Having documented processes in place will ensure that your business will continue to run smoothly even if you aren't there.